Hey everyone, if you're new around here, we're the Evergreens. We're full-time musicians and part-time travelers.
It's been a minute since we've uploaded a video to our YouTube channel. We wanted to apologize about that. As musicians, we get really busy around the holiday season, but we promise to do better moving forward starting right now.
Yeah, so we took a little trip in the month of December. We took my mom to Chicago, Illinois for 3 nights to kick off the holiday season, and it was so fun to take her because I did my undergrad in Chicago and she hasn't been back since I graduated. So it was a really cool way to get in the Christmas spirit. So this is like her little cameo to our YouTube channel. I think you're gonna see a lot more of her in the future. Hey everyone, this is Mom. She's traveling with us, so we're so glad to have her. But yeah, we had a great time. We filmed a lot in the city, ate a lot of good food, and we decided to just bring all the footage back and make a little recap video for you guys. Chicago is an awesome city any time of year, but I just love the magic of the holiday season there.
So this will be our top 10 things to do in Chicago at Christmas time.
All right, so let's get started.
So number 1 is probably the first thing most people think of when they think of the city of Chicago, which is deep dish pizza.
I can't recommend deep dish enough. We were only in the city for 3 nights and we had deep dish pizza twice because it is a holy experience. Oh yeah, that's a foodie face right there. Got Mom's stamp of approval. She likes it.
Excellent.
We are pizza lovers by nature. We love all kinds of pizza, but there is definitely a special place in my heart for deep dish. So when we arrived in the city, we got there at about 3 p.m. We checked into our hotel, which was in the North Loop, and we threw our bags in the room, got ready, and hit the streets and headed to Pisano's, which was my favorite place when I went to school in Chicago. I always get the Mark Special. It is a deep dish pizza, but the crust is so different. It's like a buttery, crunchier crust. Not like your typical
Maybe like
deep dish.
Crumbly a little
Crumbly,
bit.
yeah. So good. The flavors are amazing. If you love garlic and you love basil and just really good pizza, you gotta try the Mark Special. And I found out recently that you can actually order it, so we'll put that link down below because you can get it shipped anywhere in the US, and I think we might have to do that.
I think so, yeah. And then we also had to try one of the more famous like chain pizza places. We went to Giordano's, which there is Giordano's,
Lou Malnati's, Gino's East. There's a ton of them in Chicago,
Yeah.
and everyone has their own favorite, but I mean, this one's just a classic, so great pizza there.
Yeah, I have never seen so much cheese on one dish in my life. It was amazing. And after just one piece, you are stuffed.
Yeah, but then you keep eating because it's just that good.
And just one little tip, deep dish does take like 45 minutes for them to cook all the way through because it is so deep. So make sure you have enough time when you go to a restaurant to get deep dish.
But when you're in Chicago, there are a few other iconic dishes. Chicago is just a food city in general. So that takes us to number 2 on our list. Try some of the other iconic dishes. So one thing that we tried when we were there is a Chicago hot dog because they're always excellent.
I think it's my favorite. I love Chicago dogs. I love all of the flavors on them. There's a lot of like pickled flavors and stuff. Why don't you tell us what's on it?
So traditionally, Chicago dogs are on a steamed poppy seed bun, although the one that we had,
No poppy seeds.
no poppy seed bun. I was like, come on, this was one of the top rated places in Chicago to get a Chicago style dog. The Chicago dog is an all beef Frankfurter. It's topped with yellow mustard, bright green relish, fresh chopped onions, a red tomato, and kosher style pickle spear. No ketchup. That is like a cardinal sin in the city of Chicago. You just don't put ketchup on a
You
Chicago
have
style
a
dog.
tomato on there, but no ketchup.
No ketchup. But yeah, that is like one experience you have to try. Another thing is you have to get Garrett's popcorn. You gotta get the Chicago mix. If you like caramel popcorn and cheese popcorn, it is the cheesiest and most caramel popcorn you can get, and they mix it all up. Any Garrett's popcorn you go into, there's gonna be a line, there's gonna be people popping the popcorn right there. And we actually love it so much that we ordered each other it last year for Christmas, not knowing, and we got 2 tins in the mail, and we were like, what the heck?
Yeah, not the worst problem to
No,
have.
we ate it all Christmas week. So get your pizza, get your Chicago dogs, get your Garrett's popcorn, and just try some other food because there's really good stuff in Chicago.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't break my nose.
It's not red though, it's not Rudolph. So number 3 on our list is go check out Millennium Park. If you know anything about the city of Chicago, they love their parks and they love their art. So all through the city, you're gonna see a lot of that sprinkled throughout. And inside Millennium Park, they have a couple cool pieces of artwork. So my favorite is the Cloud Gate, or as it's most affectionately known as, the Bean. And it's basically a really big bean-shaped piece of art. It's completely reflective. So you see the city mirrored on the bean. All right, guys, so we're at the Chicago Bean. Check it out. Look how cool this is. Oh my gosh. It's a little trippy. Getting all dizzy. Yeah. I always loved walking past it when I went to school out there, and that's actually what I named our first pug after. His name is Mr. Bean, and he's named after the Chicago Bean.
Yeah, not the comedian / actor Mr. Bean, as most people think.
I just put the Mr. in front of it just to make his name a little bit more official. But yeah, the Bean at Christmas time is really awesome. We didn't have snow when we were in the city, but it's really cool when the snow like sets on top of it. But yeah, the Bean is a great stop. You get a lot of photo opportunities there. Right below it is the Chicago Christmas tree in Millennium Park, as well as an ice skating rink. So there's a lot of fun to be had there. I was a little bit bummed that we weren't there on a Friday night, because every Friday in the month of December, they have caroling at the Bean.
Oh, fun.
And that was one of my favorite memories when I went to school out there. I just stumbled past it on a Friday night, and it's just so warming to like just have a bunch of strangers come together and carol with a group right by the Bean.
In Millennium Park, they have the big fountain area where they project people's faces. They record them at a different location, and then they put people's faces up on these big pillar-like screens, and they open their mouth and water shoots out. But I don't think it does that.
No, it doesn't.
In the winter.
Just the faces are on those sculptures, but in the summertime you can see tons of kids and kids our age playing in the water.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
I want to get our faces up there someday.
Right?
Actually, that's kind of scary. It's really big.
Really big. So right behind that, there's a giant outdoor amphitheater. They don't really do anything in the winter time, but in the summer, that place is buzzing. There's all kinds of events throughout the city that are happening in Millennium Park, but you gotta check it out at Christmas time. It's just a really cool stop.
So number 4 is check out Chicago's Christkindlmarket. It's a German-style Christmas market. They're found all through Germany, but Chicago has one of the biggest ones outside of Germany.
Yeah, Chicago's Christkindlmarket is amazing. You could easily get lost there, spend an entire day. The main one is in the Mayor Daley Plaza, and amazing food there. I mean, anything from your savory to your sweets, traditional German style food, lots of sausages and potato pancakes, all the good stuff. And then you can get all your good sweets. What's the verdict, Mom?
Amen. It's delicious.
She's a natural food vlogger, if you can't tell.
A German hunky, what do you expect? Love it.
And then of course there's our favorite, the mulled wine, or Glühwein if you will. So you can buy your souvenir mug for $9 and you fill it up. They have the red traditional one, and then there's also a spiced apple white wine. So good, so warming when you're out there freezing and walking through the market. But you can get all kinds of cool souvenirs from towns in Germany and other countries, and Christmas presents as well. So we spent a few hours there, had a great time. And then we also checked out the other one that's located right outside of Wrigley Stadium in Wrigleyville. It's a lot smaller in size. I would definitely say if you're in Chicago and you're only there for a limited amount of time, check out the main one, Mayor Daley Plaza. The smaller one had like an ice skating rink, and it's charming because it's right by Wrigley Stadium, but definitely not as many vendors. So
yeah, it was also very similar. So similar but smaller, a lot of repeat things.
Yeah, still very cool, but the main one is the one that you want to check out.
But while we're on the topic of Wrigleyville, that brings us to number 5, which is go to Wrigleyville and check out all of the Christmas pop-up bars.
Yeah, Wrigleyville is a really charming neighborhood in the city of Chicago. It's far enough out of the downtown area so you miss a lot of that hustle and bustle. It's just a bunch of neighborhood bars and little shops and stuff. Obviously, the main attraction there is Wrigley Stadium, but North Clark Street, which is the main street that cuts through there, is typically sports bar after sports bar. People do bar crawls there, and then they also bar hop before and after the Cubs games. So a really popular part of town. And in the month of November and December, they completely transform these sports bars into Christmas bars.
It's crazy. Like every single bar is Christmas.
Yeah, our
or
ones,
Hanukkah.
Anything festive. But I've never seen so many businesses come together and just go full out on the Christmas spirit. or Hanukkah spirit.
So the one we went to was Santa Baby Bar, which they also have a sister bar called Rudolph.
And I think ours was the best one because we did a little research ahead of time, got on Google and saw which one had the best reviews, and it was definitely Santa Baby Bar.
Yeah, so make sure you make reservations before trying to go. We almost missed out because we waited until the last minute. It takes place in Deuce's Sports Bar.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this, like, so the whole first level is completely decked out, floor to ceiling, but then there's a second level and a third level and a rooftop garden, and there's also an outdoor tent that they made for COVID. It's completely decked out, so there's plenty of opportunity for like private parties and just friend gatherings. And
yeah, you can book their little cabanas in the tent area, and they're all themed differently. It would be so fun for a party.
Yeah, for sure. This place is amazing. We're so glad we got reservations last minute and got some festive drinks and just got in the spirit there at the Santa Baby Bar. So number 6 on our list is try to catch a show at the famous Chicago Theater on State Street. So Chicago, like most other major cities, has its own theater district. So there's a bunch of old theater houses, but you gotta hit the iconic Chicago Theater if you can while you're in the city. This month I know that they had the Cirque du Soleil Christmas show, different things happening every night, but we happened to luck out because while we were there, one of our favorite bands, She and Him, was performing. So we snagged tickets and we got to go see them. This was our second time seeing them for their Christmas tour, and man, they do not disappoint.
If you don't know She and Him, it's Zooey Deschanel and M. Ward, and you probably know Zooey Deschanel either from her show New Girl or her most iconic role in the movie Elf.
Yeah, so we had an absolute blast. We were so glad we got tickets, but there's just something about being in those old theaters. So even if you miss the Chicago Theater, there's plenty of other ones. The Goodman Theater, I think that's the one that had a Christmas Carol going on all month.
I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities in the Chicago Theater District, so definitely catch a show. But if you can't catch a show, just go outside of it and take pictures with the lit up marquee at night because it's just really cool.
So number 7 on our list, this is a pretty touristy thing to do in Chicago, but go to Navy Pier and see the lights on the lake.
So yeah, like Laurel said, Navy Pier is definitely more of a tourist attraction. It was used back in World War II as a training center for the United States Navy. So now it's just basically a spot in the city where you can hit up some restaurants, get a good view of the city. You can take boat cruises out in the warmer months, or you can ride the famous Ferris wheel that's there. It's also known as the Centennial Wheel. And I think it was inspired after the World's Fair because the first Ferris wheel came to Chicago during the World's Fair. But yeah, we went for the lights on the lake. It's in the big auditorium in the back of Navy Pier, so I believe tickets were like $15 a person, but the entire auditorium is just lined with Christmas lights.
This would be a great thing to do if you have kids and you're looking for a family-friendly activity in Chicago.
Yeah, Santa's there, there's a train that goes through it, tons of Christmas lights, an ice skating rink, there's huts that you can buy food, alcoholic beverages, but it's pretty big inside. I mean, it at least takes an hour to walk through. So a festive stop for sure if you want to check out some Christmas lights while you're in the city.
Yep.
All right, so carrying on with the whole Christmas lights theme, we also hit up the Museum of Science and Industry. We wanted to check out the museum, but also in the month of December, they have a Christmas from around the world exhibit. So for each country in the world, they have a Christmas tree, and it's decorated showing that specific country's traditions and ornaments. And you can walk through and read a lot about it, just take pictures, take it all in, and then walk through the museum as well, which is pretty fascinating.
And one thing we wanted to highlight from the museum as well, there's a big airplane, hangs from the ceiling, and if you're below it, you can see like the wheels come out. They have the original captain of this plane who's there to give you a little tour or answer your questions. A's mom just finished 50 years in the travel industry, and she was all excited to get to talk to him and share stories. So it was a really cool thing as well.
In the front, they have the original airplane seats. They also have an original menu and some of the drink mixes and stuff. So it's just fun and kind of like takes you back in time a little bit. We had a great time in the museum, spent a few hours there, and it was great to get out of the cold because as you probably know, Chicago is known as the Windy City. Now, it was not named the Windy City because of the weather originally. It was all due to politics. But it is a very windy city because you get that lakefront wind from Lake Michigan. So in the month of December, it's pretty chilly. So we were glad to get in a warm museum and spend some time there.
So number 9 is try to track down the CTA Christmas Train.
Yeah, we unfortunately missed it this time, but in the month of December, there's a CTA train that's all decked out for Christmas. Lights, decorations on the outside and the inside. There's like a Santa on the back of it. And I've seen it when I went to school in Chicago. It's so fun. I was hoping we would have caught it with my mom.
I think you have to get lucky a little bit.
Yeah, or you just have to wait for a while, which, like I said, the weather was a little too cold for that. But it's completely decked out, and they always list on their website which color line it's going to be on certain days. So you definitely have a good chance of seeing it and riding on it if you have a little bit of patience, a little bit of time in your schedule. But if you're there for the month of December, definitely try to catch it because it's a really cool experience.
So last on our list at number 10 is just walk around the city, do some shopping, and see more of Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago has great Christmas decorations just all down the streets of State Street and through the Magnificent Mile. There's indoor shopping, outdoor shopping, there's markets set up. So you definitely will be in the Christmas spirit if you walk around a little bit. There's the famous Macy's department store on State Street, and their windows are always decked out a different theme. There's also the Walnut Room inside of Macy's, which a lot of people don't know about. It's an old school restaurant inside the department store, big Christmas tree inside. Just a lot of charming things in Chicago. You could just stumble in a neighborhood bar or restaurant and it's gonna be completely decked out and festive. So we love it. There's street performers. It's just something about being either in New York City or Chicago. The cold weather, the Christmas buzz going around the air, it just feels good.
So we hope you enjoyed our list of our top 10 things to do in Chicago at Christmas time.
Yeah, we had a blast there and we're so glad that we were able to bring you guys along for part of the trip. We know some of the things that we did were a bit on the touristy side, but we kind of tried to stay just in the downtown area. So hey, we were tourists, we were being touristy, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it was a fun trip.
So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment down below and introduce yourself. And if you're from the Chicago area and we missed something epic, let us know too so we could hit that up next time.
Yeah, we always love recommendations.
So we have a ton of travel plans ahead of us and some fun things with our music. So we will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, see ya.
Did you go too slow? Do a different machine. Next one. He gave you 2.
So put me on a train, I don't care where it's going. Fly me on a plane, maybe out to Wyoming. Need an RV, no plans, just you and me. I need to go somewhere